This is a message to all my supporters of this podcast. I'm introducing a new supporters program. You can contribute a small amount as a one-off payment to show your love for this podcast. Thank you in advance for all your contributions.
This is the Absolute Business Mindset podcast, created and hosted by Mark Hayward. I'm a corporate employee with an entrepreneurial mindset. This is a podcast that will help you support and develop ideas about business. These are my thoughts, ideas, and comments. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about ideas, how to create ideas, how to fashion ideas, how to not be scared about having ideas, and what to do with them. So hopefully you'll enjoy this, and you can add value by going to absolutebusinessmindset@gmail.com with new ideas for me. Hi everyone, Mark Hayward from the Absolute Business Mindset podcast and YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about ideas. So the first thing I want to just dispel this myth. You're either an ideas person or you're not. That is complete rubbish. It is a learned technique, skill that you can develop. It's not something that is completely alien and it's not possible to be able to develop. So it is a mindset. So I think you need to be able to get in the mindset of having good ideas and thinking in the ideas concept. So I'm going to talk through some 10 key points that I think are really important to do with getting ideas and generating ideas. And then I've got some sort of hints, tips, techniques that you can use when you're thinking through those sorts of ideas. So, number one is you need to think of ideas. That sounds a silly thing to say, Mark, but you need to train your brain into thinking about ideas. It's something that you need to just practice. It's like a muscle. If you keep on thinking about ideas, it could be about James Altucher gave me a really good piece of advice about thinking up 10 ways of being able to improve something, whether it's a process, whether it's a product, whether it's an app. So I went through an intensive phase of being able to give ideas to other people, and actually you'll be surprised. So I did a lot of apps and sort of then reached out to those companies and said, look, I've got 10 ideas how you could improve your app. I wasn't worried about them stealing the ideas. It was just get ideas out of my brain and train my brain to do that. So I think it's critically important that you just practice it and you train yourself to be able to think of good ideas. One of the techniques was getting 10 ideas every day. So it could be 10 ideas about a product, as I said, service, a process, an app, or whatever. Just get ideas out of your brain. Because the third point is, bad ideas are the sort of bedrock of being able to have good ideas. Everyone comes up with bad ideas. Not every idea from the greatest minds are going to be great ideas or good ideas. You've got to get through the bad ideas to be able to then get to the good ideas. So it's really important to practice it, to get good at it. Equally, when they're bad ideas, just forget about them, pass them to the side and move on. So please, if I cannot get anyone else, if you can learn something from today, is that you need to practice and you need to just keep on doing them to be able to get to the good ideas as well. And you might surprise yourself. So number 4 is being in a suitable place. So I've carefully used suitable because I don't want to say a good place, because there isn't a good place for one type of person. It could be at home, like I'm here, I'm in my loft and I am coming up with ideas for podcasts. It might be the office. You might find a place in the office. It might be a partner's office. It might be a quiet part of the office. It might be just in your seat or whatever it is. It could be a coffee shop. It could be a hotel or a club or whatever it is. You've got to find a really good place for you to be able to break down and get some good ideas. So please think about that. What is the perfect state for you to be able to get good ideas? Some people like being around people. Some people like isolation. It's so much down to the individual on being able to work out what is right for you. So please do think about that. I really urge you to think about the right place for you to come up with good ideas. So you could try your ideas out on friends, colleagues, mentors, coaches, whoever that person is. They've got to be trusted. And I think that's actually a critical point, which I just want to bring out again. They've got to be trusted, because if you have a bad idea and people are then going to just crucify you, you need to have a safe space that someone is interested in you, is supportive of you, and will not laugh at you. And I think you got to just work out who those people are, because those trusted people are incredibly important. So it's crucial for me that you find the right people to share those ideas with. You've got to be open to these sorts of opportunities. You've got to be aware of your surroundings, of when you're thinking about, might be going into Starbucks and thinking how you could improve Starbucks, for example. It might be a process at work. It might be an app or whatever it is, but you've got to be open to be able to let those sorts of ideas flow. The other thing that's important is listening to others. So that might be your mentor, your coach. It might be a meetup or something like that you listen to other people's ideas, because they can be good guides on what actually works. They might have a little bit more understanding of the market than maybe you do, and therefore other people's ideas, never steal other people's ideas, but other ideas can give you inspiration to what you want to achieve. And just go with it, do you know what I mean? Just be open, just be free, just jot ideas down. Find that time in your day where you can be away from everyone, or in the middle of everything going on, whatever that place is that's right for you. The other thing is, which some people might shy away from, if you want to move that idea onto a business plan, an opportunity, a suggesting to your business, to your boss about a new ideas, just go with it. And the other thing you need to do is you need to back that up with numbers. So numbers is a really critical way of being able to move that idea forward. And so spreadsheets are important. I know some people might go, oh, it's the last thing I want is to go onto a spreadsheet. But actually working out the numbers is incredibly important. So I would definitely suggest everyone to be able to work out their numbers for their ideas. And the other thing is you've got to find the right state. So it might be after meditation, it might be before meditation, it might be after exercise, it might be before exercise. You've got to get at place in that mindset, whether that's physically or mentally, in that space to be able to think up ideas. So hopefully you found that first section useful, my top 10 tips for getting ideas. And now I'm going to talk you through some of the other sort of things that you need to think about when you're coming up with ideas. We've talked about bad ideas. You just have to accept bad ideas are going to come. And it's critical to not think that every idea has to be perfect. There are good ideas, there are bad ideas. The bad ideas you put to the side and leave to the side. Then the good ideas you move forward. The other thing I'd say is keep it simple. Especially an idea, you need to keep it as simple as possible. Don't rush, don't overcomplicate, don't think too much. Bash out, if that's the right word, think up new ideas every day that will then be able to catapult into another opportunity that might be there. But just on the initial and idea stage, keep it simple. Sell pencils or pens to companies. So my mentor gave me that last weekend. He said, look, your best ideas and your best business opportunities are ones like selling pens to companies. And I thought that was inspirational, really, because you always think of the most complicated thing, but actually every company still needs pens in the office. So then you've got to translate your ideas into something a bit more substantial. So that might be a spreadsheet, as we talked about, getting your numbers right. It might be a Visio, it might be a PowerPoint, it might be a presentation, as I say. But get the ideas down into something tangible that you might be able to share with someone like your mentor or your coach to be able to think about how you can progress that. Probably my most important point is never, ever, ever listen to Jack, John, Bob, Charlie, who's in the pub, who has great ideas and never pursues them. You do not want to listen to these people. You do not want to listen to someone that you're thinking about investing in property, for example, that's never invested in property. You do not want to think about someone in the pub who's telling you about their business idea that's never created a business. Do not listen to those people. They will tell you how great their ideas are and how rubbish your ideas are. Do not listen to Jack, Jill, Bob, Charlie, whoever it is in the pub that's never done anything. Read, listen to audiobooks, listen to podcasts, get your brain in that sort of framework. Some really good people who I've talked about before: Tim Ferriss, Rob Moore in the UK, James Altucher. There's a couple of other new ones which I've started listening to, and they're escaping me at the moment. But just get inspiration from other people and what they think. And also, so we're talking about Jack, Jill, Bob, Charlie, whoever it is, but also be careful of family members and sort of friends. They want you to be comfortable. They want you to have a comfortable, carefree life. And you do need to take a risk. You do need to take a chance. Sometimes the family members are the biggest hurdle, whether it's your mum saying you shouldn't leave your job, or your friend saying, oh, I wouldn't invest in property there, or your colleague saying, I'm not sure that's a good business idea for our business. Do not be dissuaded to not go through those ideas by those types of people. And the other thing is that, obviously no plagiarism with these sorts of things, but other people's ideas you can copy, you can adapt, you can slightly tweak, you can make it work for you. Again, it's like listening to other people's ideas. I think it's critically important that you get that and you actually listen to people and be open to opportunities, as we said earlier. Right, that's my podcast and YouTube channel version of ideas and how to create them and how to get the most out of your ideas, which I'm sure everyone here has some ideas, whether they are good or bad. If you'll like this, if you have any ideas about my podcast, who you'd like me to interview, what you'd like me to talk about, please do share that on absolutebusinessmindset@gmail.com. That would be fantastic. I'd love to hear your thoughts, ideas and comments on the podcast. That would be fantastic. Equally, I am everywhere on social media: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I'm on all platforms. Do check me out. Do find me, and I would love to hear some of your thoughts on what I'm talking about.